Hey everybody, welcome back to Monday Night Magic. It's me, Ryan, here again with some exciting Magic playing. If you're new to the show, basically I just really enjoy playing Magic and I really like talking about Magic. So for those who are out there who have never played, hopefully this is a kind of a good entry point, a good jumping off point for you to kind of understand basically what Magic is about. I like to talk about a lot of different things as I play and just kind of, catch up with the chat and everything. So, guys, welcome. Today we're going to be doing a special event. This is another one of the workshops that Magic Arena has been putting out. This one is called the Art of Artisan. Now, Artisan format is a special format where your decks can only have common and uncommon cards. So, none of those rares, mythic rares, none of the really cool, powerful cards that you might expect to see in a lot of Magic decks. Now, normally when you're playing Artisan, you can bring in your own decks, and I've even got a deck built for some of these Artisan events. But for the workshop, they're actually going to give you decks to play. So I'm going to take a look at these decks here, and let's see how they look. And I'm going to play both of them. Hopefully I can get some exciting matchups, and we can see how these Artisan decks work. Try to figure out what the core synergies and combos are within these two decks. Hi, Games of Fire, welcome. I think you won one of our contests not too long ago, so you have something in the mail, which is very exciting. So congrats on winning, and anybody that watches our Wednesday live stream or goes back and comments, you have that time to be entered into a drawing. We like to give away games on Wednesdays. Granted, the quarantine is kind of messed with things a little bit. We haven't been able to play as many games as we want to play. So anyway, let's jump in here and take a look at these event decks. So I've got two that are playable. Yard Work and Zero to Hero. I'm already interested. I like Zero to Hero. We got a little Hercules going on there. I'm getting a little Hercules vibe. That song's running through my head right now. But let's take a look at Yard Work. So it's green-black, so my first thought here is it's going to have some kind of graveyard synergy. These are kind of the Golgari colors, which is one of the Ravnica guilds. Golgari is known for kind of reanimating the dead and harvesting and things like that. With a name like Yard Work, I don't know, maybe there's some Saproling tokens or something like that. So let's take a look and see what this deck looks like. And of course, remember, this is just commons and uncommons. So anybody that's watching and wonders maybe why they're missing out on some of the better cards, that's why. So yeah, Undergrowth. That's one of those abilities that looks and sees at how many cards you've already got in your graveyard. So you want to have a lot of cards in your graveyard for this deck. And this is just basic creature removal. It only costs one. So early in the game you can take out some of the small creatures. Later it should power itself up and become really cheap removal. We've also got this Chain Web. So this is a great card because it comes into play cheap. I can get this out on turn 1. And it can escape from the graveyard. So again, putting it into the graveyard to power the Undergrowth isn't necessarily going to hurt you because it can come back. Let's see what else we've got here. The Mar Triton. Basically another card that's going to put things into your graveyard. But it's also got Death Touch. So it's an answer to some of those bigger creatures. Death Touch kills anything instantly, so I really like that. Then we've got the Skull Prophet. This is the kind of the key card of the deck. It's a mana generator. You'll see there that it can produce either green or black mana, which is great, or it can put the top two cards of your graveyard or deck into the graveyard. Again, powering some of those Undergrowths. Here we have Heartless Act, another removal, and I like that it can remove counters off things too. So that's pretty good. Relentless Pursuit, again, gets your creature into your hand and puts more cards into your graveyard. Here's another 3-drop. So this is maybe my turn 3 look here. Again, it's going to put a lot of cards in my graveyard. So you're noticing a lot of these cards are going to put cards into my graveyard. And I know we're going to have some payoff there. First of all, we can use those cards to pay for these escape costs. This Farika's Spawn here is pretty expensive to escape, but it becomes very powerful when it comes back into play. Acolyte Affliction, here we go, just another mill, but you can return cards to your hand, so that's great. And Blood for Bones bring things right back from your graveyard. So you can bury some of these bigger creatures like this Molder Hulk. I can bury that, and then I can bring it out with one of these other cards. Also, this creature is going to get a lot less expensive for more cards being in my graveyard. So hopefully I can get him out much sooner than turn 9. Plus, I'll have the mana generation of Skull Prophet. You can maybe get one of these out on turn 3 or 4 if you're really lucky, and that would be pretty nice. And then, of course, the Lilith Giant. That's kind of your game end right there. So for 7 mana, 1 damage to opponent for every creature in my graveyard. And I have mostly creatures in this deck. So this is going to be kind of an interesting deck. You can see the through line of how you kind of want to play this. You really want to play a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop. So my Chain Web, then the Skull Prophet, and then maybe the Vulture, and so on. So let's take a look at this, and let's see how this deck works in action. Now, knowing what that through line is, knowing what's called your mana curve, which is kind of the way that you want to play out your cards over the first couple turns, and how often you want to see mana or how much mana you want to have, you can kind of study a deck and know kind of what a good starting hand looks like. So let's hope that we have a good starting hand. Really, you want something that's maybe a 1, a 2, and a 3 cost creature, and then something maybe that's a little higher that you could keep in your back pocket. Then of course you need to have plenty of mana in your starting hand to power your deck. If you have too much, then you might end up with just being mana flooded. If you have too little, you're taking a gamble. You're really hoping that maybe you're going to draw that mana. And I've had that gamble pay off. I've also had that gamble very much not pay off. So, all right, let's see. We're playing another opponent who might be playing the same deck. We don't know. All right, so 3 mana to start with. Pretty good. I've got nothing that I can play on turn 1, but I can drop that Evolving Wilds on turn 1 and play my Mired Triton on turn 2. Not bad. And I can keep this giant in my hand. He can just kind of hang out in my hand until I get enough mana to play him. Or I can discard him and play him from the graveyard later. So let's keep this for now. I actually kind of really like this starting hand. It's not great, but I think I can do some good things with it. So they're playing the other deck, which we're going to look at after this, and that's the Boros deck, which is red and white. So I expect from Boros to have a lot of really fast creatures. I'm going to need to make use of those Necrotic Wounds, I think. So let's put out those that Evolving Wilds. Now, you can sacrifice this at any time to search for a land. I kind of make it a habit to just do triggers like that at the end of my opponent's turn. That's just a habit. You kind of get into that. For something like Evolving Wilds, it doesn't really matter, but it might. Like if I didn't have any mana in my hand and I had to decide between a green or a black, I could look and see what my opponent did and base it on that. So Fairy Godmother, whatever. I could get rid of that with a Necrotic Wound if I want to, but I think I'm going to get that Mired Triton out. So I look at my hand. I have 2 forests and only 1 swamp, so let's grab another swamp just to make things even. And of course I got another Evolving Wilds. Unfortunately, this is not a great time for it because I really want to get that Mired Triton out. Or I could just a number of creature cards in your graveyard. I have none, so there's no reason to play that. So let's just get the Mired Triton out early. Alright, so I did put 1 creature card in there. That means this Necrotic Wound is now powered. So you'll see there the Skull Prophet. And I know our frames you can't quite see everything, but we have new designs in the works. I probably by next Magic Monday this is going to look all very different, and that's exciting for me. Alright, so let's see. I did draw another land. Unfortunately, enters the battlefield tapped, but gives me a life. Right now, I don't really have anything to play except for this Necrotic Wound. So, this is a good time to play that Jungle Hollow and just let it sit out there. I will play that Necrotic Wound probably on that Fairy Godmother, but let's see if he's willing to make a trade. So, he has no mana, so if I can get him to block me, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm taking... Oh, he's not going to. So he just takes the 2 damage. Whenever you cast a spell that targets him, he gets a +1/+1 counter as well. So she can layer on some auras onto him to power him up. Every time she plays an aura that targets him, she's also going to get that counter. So that's scary. Alright, so they're going to kill my Mire Triton. That's unfortunate. With this, you can't see it, it's behind the other trigger. What you're seeing over here is called the stack. This is the way that cards are like put onto a stack and then they're going to resolve. So it's going to deal 2 damage, 1 to each of us. That might be good for me. If he tries to cast another spell, now my necrotic wound is a 2. So I can remove, so before he does that, I want to give it -X and kill it. I want it to go away. So let's take away its life, it dies. And that means the next spell is going to fizzle, which means it has no target. It won't be able to be triggered. However, he's still going to get that scry because he still did target him with this spell. Great, I have another necrotic wound. That'll be great for maybe dealing with this fairy godmother. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to sacrifice with blood or bones. This is not a great turn. So, it is a perfect turn to play Evolving Wilds. Because I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to play. So taking an extra turn for that mana isn't going to super hurt me. Yeah, it would be nice if I had buried one of these giants in the graveyard. But I only have 2 creatures in the graveyard right now. So, alright, well whatever he plays, this thing has got 2 power. So, when it enters the battlefield, create a human token. Whenever you cast a spell, creatures get +1/+0. I want to deal with that quickly. Because I don't want it to keep giving his bonuses. And right now he's tapped out. He has no mana, so he can't do anything to stop my necrotic wound here. So let's just do that. Let's get rid of it now. And then I'm going to use my Evolving Wilds. At this point, it doesn't really matter what I've got, so I might as well just grab another swamp. What I really need is a creature to play. Not having a creature, not drawing a creature has hurt me very much so. But I do have 5 mana already. I got another 10 District Legionnaire. He's drawing a lot of creatures. I am not liking my chances here facing down this Boros deck. A lot of creatures. I need to draw a lot of creatures to fight that. So here we go. Here's my Mere Triton. I'm gonna put 2 cards into the battlefield or into the graveyard. Let's see what I got here. I kind of like getting that vulture out instead. So let's blood for bones. We're gonna sacrifice this Mere Triton. So it's return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, then another creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So we're gonna sacrifice him. And I'm going to put this is to return to the battlefield. I'm going to put the Gorging Vulture right into play, and then I'm going to return the Skull Prophet to my hand. So, I gained some life because I put 2 creatures into the graveyard. So, Loteth Giant is now a 4. I need it to be a little higher than that if I wanted to really do what I want to do. But, I have my nice 2/2 Vulture out now. Granted, I might just be delaying the inevitable if I don't get more creatures. Oh, he's going to exile it. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So, I do have enough to play this. Might as well get this guy out, but he's probably going to be able to remove him from the game. I do have more than one of him. If he doesn't have a way to remove him, then it can at least be a deterrent for attacking. Like that 10th District Legionnaire is going to get eaten up by my giant. So, and if he does kill it, I can return it from the graveyard. Alright, this knight can't block. I'm not super afraid of it. He's still got the flyer. Can't do anything about that. But we're pretty much neck and neck right now. I was really worried, but now I'd say it might be anyone's game. However, still not in a great position here. Oh, I forgot his knight couldn't block. I was worried I didn't want to lose my giant to the team up block here, but I forgot he couldn't do that. These creatures cannot block this turn. Great. Alright, now I am really hurting. And I got another giant. 5 damage to him. That's not enough. Not quite enough. So he just needs to get 2 damage through. So he's going to get me no matter what. There's nothing I can do here. If that had been, if I had got a little bit more luck returning creatures to the graveyard, that's too bad. So he'll be down to 4, but I'm at 2. Like, no matter what I was going to do, he was going to destroy me. So there was really no way I was going to be able to stop that. Him having that conclave and getting rid of my vulture, I feel like I played a fair game. I mean, you know, you can't win all of them. I want to give this deck another try, though. I like what it's doing in principle. I think if you don't bury creatures, like a lot of those cards I flipped over were just lands and spells. I really needed like 10 creatures in my graveyard by that point. If I had had that, that would have been a much different game. So I do like this. It's a little slow start, but I might be all right here. Yeah, I might be all right. So let's get that Jungle Hollow out first. So I have a little bit of flexibility. I mean, I'll put the Mere Triton out on turn 2. Gorging Vulture on turn 3 as long as I draw some mana. And hopefully I bury something really interesting with that Blood for that Blood for Bone. So let's see. Here we go. 2 cards gone. Let's get some good creatures. And I put away 2 lands. I put 2 lands into my graveyard. Oh, that hurts. I needed those lands. I needed creatures to be in my graveyard. Alright, well I have another chance. I have another Mere Triton. So let's see what happens. There's 1 creature. So I now have 1 creature in my graveyard. That's fine. Let's Evolving Wilds. It doesn't matter at this point. I'm just going to get another forest. Alright, let's see if he wants to make a trade here. If he does decide to block it, that's not bad for me because it gives me another creature in my graveyard. Alright, and it dealt with a threat from him. Let's see what he comes back with. From that last play, I'm guessing... Oh no, another Hero of the Fight. I'm waiting for that 10th District Legionnaire. Alright, put the top 4 cards in my graveyard, and let's gain a life for each creature. It looks like there was 1 creature buried there. Wow. I like that Molder Hulk is in there, though. Now I can really use this Blood for Bones. So, I think next turn is going to be a pretty good turn for me. So it'll be turn 5. I would really like to have done this on turn 4, but I'll take turn 5. Is he going to trade again? He is not going to trade again this time. I really want to put this Molder Hulk out onto the battlefield, and he puts a land with him as well, so that's pretty awesome. But he might have another one of those Convoke cards, the Conclave Tribunal that exiles creatures. That's a good counter for this deck because it doesn't put the creatures back in my graveyard. Golgari, and this deck in particular, really wants creatures to be in your graveyard to maximize those abilities. I am not... No, because he's going to play a spell... He'll play a spell, and I'll lose my Vulture for no reason. Not for 2 life. Like, I'm not worried about it. Interesting. I'm not sure what he's good. I mean, he's got 3 mana over there. Ah, I see. Okay. Alright. So, it's time for Blood for Bones. Well, yeah, this is not an instant, so attacking first. Actually, I'm going to attack first because I don't think he's going to block this. Like, I don't think he's going to sacrifice his flyer. So I got a free 2 damage in there that I wasn't going to get. So let's sacrifice that Triton. Let's put the Molder Hulk back on the battlefield. And how about the Vulture back into my hand? And I get to put a land card out. Let's put another Swamp. Alright, I like that. Feeling a little better than I was last game at this time. I've only got 2 creatures in my graveyard. Of course, you can't really see that. But I have 2 creatures in my graveyard right now. Alright, he's going to give it flying. Both creatures are going to get +1/+1. So my Molder Hulk cannot block anymore, but I mean, I can hit him for 6 damage every turn. Yeah, let's trade. Let's get rid of that Hero of the Pride. I don't like that guy. I got another Vulture right here, so he might have something that can protect this guy or save him. He's got 2 defense. I've got 2 attack. He would need to give it +1. Oh, protection from black. All right, well that will do it. That means my black creature cannot do any damage to him. So that's fine. Not that big of a deal. I don't know what else is he thinking about. So I'm going to take 4, but he's only got 1 mana. I don't think there's much he can do with that. So he's definitely taking 6 damage on his turn. And he's giving me another card for the graveyard. So 3 cards in the graveyard now. Get another mana, so I can go ahead. I can play the Vulture. It's going to put 4 cards into my graveyard and give me some life. So let's see how much I do. That's 1, 2. Oh, and one of them was the Lotleth Giant. So if I get another returning card, I can return that guy right to the battlefield. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. And nice. Alright. I don't think he can do anything about this. He's going to take 6. Let's see if something that can put out. There's like Raise the Alarm, I think. I don't remember how much that costs. I think it might cost 2 mana. Down to 11. It would be nice to put this Freakish Spawn in the graveyard, have it escape. But it's fine. When it escapes, it kills a creature. Actually, opponent must sacrifice a creature, so it doesn't. You don't actually get to choose. Your opponent chooses. But it's great. Like when all they have left is an indestructible creature, you can force them to sacrifice it. So that's good. All right. Well, that's 5 damage. I feel like I have to block it, even though my Vulture's gonna die in the process. I can't. I'm not gonna take 5 damage. Oh, I'd be taking 8. I'd rather just take 3. Oh, I'm still taking 5. Okay. And he's going to play that Rimrock Knight, but it can't block. So he's not... Man, I am 1 mana short of playing this. This would have been the coup right here if I could play this card right now. But I can't, so let's just put out another Molder Hulk so that I can definitely play that Giant next turn. Basically, he's got. If he can't kill me now, he's dead. He doesn't know it yet. He doesn't know it yet, but he's dead. I don't think he's going to do 19 damage to me in a turn. So that's it. I feel much this game went better. Obviously, I don't know necessarily that I made better decisions. I think I played both decks well. Sometimes it's just there's a little bit of luck of the draw. So getting the right cards at the right time and knowing how to use the cards you've got. All right, let's see what he's gonna do up here. He's got the Fairy Godmother he could play out. All right, he could play the Ardvale Tactician. Him tapping those guys, that was smart for him. Oh, but he's attacking me with 2. That means he's leaving himself completely open. So what I should do is attack first. Because he doesn't know he's in any danger yet. So let's attack first. And if he manages to kill some of these things, they're going to go into the graveyard and power up my giant. But more likely, he's going to block the 2/6s. I'm at 5 damage. He's at 6. I have 7 cards. So when this guy comes out, he's going to deal 7 damage. So that is game over. Close one. That, you know, could have been different. Could have been a little different. But I'm happy with that outcome. I like sneaking in that little bit of damage. So 50% with that deck. One win, 1 loss. You know, it's not a bad deck. I've said this before. If anybody watches Magic Monday regularly, I'm not the biggest fan of that brown-green combination. I'm not the biggest fan of the dredge mechanic or the undergrowth mechanic or anything that requires me to put a bunch of things in my graveyard. It's not how I like to play. Boros is more my speed. So let's take a look at that Boros deck really quick. We know a little bit about this because I've played against it twice now, so I know kind of the tricks it's got. Your basic cards, protection from a color, and your basic flyer. I saw the Hero of the Pride come out. So a lot of creatures that get powerful when they're targeted by spells, and a lot of spells that power them, like the Rimrock Knight can be played for its secondary ability, its adventure down there. Angelic Gift we saw. I bet I've seen every card of this. However, I've never seen anybody use the Hero of Nyxborn well. One guy played it and I killed it right away. Nobody else has used it yet. There's 4 Conclave Tribunals. That's a lot. Here's the Revel. I didn't see that either. That's a great one. Makes the Satyr token, and whenever I cast a spell on it, everything gets more powerful. So I like this deck. I think it's a good deck, honestly. So all right, let's try that one. Let's see how I do with the 0 to Hero deck. I've already got my win for these workshops. You basically win once, you get the prize. But I enjoy playing them. They just mix things up a little bit. Every couple weeks or every week or so, you have a different one of these events. And it's just a lot of fun for me to experience Magic in a different way. I think this is one of the things that Magic Arena excels at versus paper Magic is I don't have to organize this. All right, 4 mana. This is not necessarily a great starting hand. I really want to have a bunch of creatures in my starting hand, but I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna go with it and hope I don't get flooded with mana, because I at least like that I can put my Fairy Godmother out on turn 1. I can get my Rimrock Knight out boosting it. Like I can start doing damage early and hope that it can't keep up with me. So, I know what to expect. I've played this deck. Hey Luke, how are you? Thanks for joining us here today. We're doing this Artisan. Look at that, he got his Skull Prophet out early. What did he do to deserve that? What a jerk. Alright, so let's throw that out and gain my life. We'll swing. Actually, I'm not going to attack. If he wants to attack with this, but see, he's now 1 turn ahead of the curve. 4 Skull Prophets in my deck, and I didn't draw one in 2 different games. So that was unfortunate. All right, let's see what he puts in there. He put 2 creatures. So right now he is at 3 creatures in his graveyard. Already at 3 creatures in his graveyard. Man, he is doing better than I did when I played this deck. Let's see if he attacks. Nope. Alright, so let's go ahead and tap this and this. I want to get this guy out. He's got haste. I like that. We're going to swing and hit him really hard right here. A little surprise attack. So hopefully he gets ambitious and blocks it. He's not going to. I'm still going to power him up because that counter he gets is forever. So I still want to swing. Do as much damage as you can with every hit. I actually don't need mana right now. Well, no, I don't need mana right now. I've got the hero coming out next turn. And he is not blocking that, so I gotta be careful not to let my life drop too low though, because I know he's powering it up. 3 cards in his graveyard right now. He can do 3 damage if he plays that giant. That's not the best for him. Oh, he actually played the spawn. I never really got that out when I played this deck. I'll let that go. 2 damage is not a big deal. So what I want to do is actually get rid of that spawn. But you know what? Yeah, I do want to get rid of that spawn. So I'm going to pay. I can tap one of my creatures to pay part of the cost. Let's exile that because then it can't escape. It doesn't go to his graveyard. Nothing good happens for him, and I get to swing. I don't want this thing to go to his graveyard. I don't want him to have the ability to bring it back out. So, hey, David Waybright, isn't this the Dead Reckoning live stream? You know what? David is referencing a new game coming out from AEG that he has been raving about to the point where I'm jealous that I don't get to play it. He's played it, several games of it. Luke is asking if there are any suggestions for good, not complicated or expensive games that you can bring to college. Let me tell you what I would recommend, Luke. I would say there's a game called Don't Mess with Cthulhu. That is a great kind of party game, social deduction game. Like, we have played that game several times, and every time we've played it has been an absolute blast. I've never had a bad experience playing it. And it can play, like, I think like 8-something people. Like, it can play a large group of people, and it's just a lot of fun. So yes, it's a great college game. Also, this is kind of a little more basic, but Munchkin. A lot of people really like Munchkin. I've kind of outgrown that, but when I was in college kind of when Munchkin first came out, really, like, started regaining popularity. So I played a ton of Munchkin in college, and you can play with like 6 people. It's super simple, and it's a great drinking game. So, you know, I think you won't go wrong with that. And that's a good idea. We should make a video of like great games to bring to college with you, because a lot of gaming gets done at college. A lot of people have a lot of free time that you're not going to have ever again. So, David, Munchkin is one of those games that hardcore gamers are going to look at it and say, well, it's super light, it's super take that. But for a college group that isn't like serious gamers, it's a good fit for a lot of gaming groups. There's a reason that there are so many versions of it. All right, where was I? I have 2 of these God Willing. I could give my creatures protection from black. All their creatures are black. If I target Hero of Nyxborn, all my creatures get +1/+0. So I'm going to give him protection from black so that he can sail through. Let's see here. So he's going to get protection from black. Oh, I do want that Chandra's Pyrohelix. Thank you very much. And do I want to do it again? I could do it again just to give everything else +1/+1. Let's wait and see what his blocking situation is like. In the comments, Luke is asking, is Dice Throne a great game? Yes. The thing about Dice Throne is it's basically best as a 1v1 game. So yeah, you can like break out a couple heroes, and you can have a couple games going on at once. I think the box for Dice Throne gives you like 8 heroes, so you could potentially have several games going on at once, which I really like that. So I think in a college environment, sure, Dice Throne is probably going to be a really popular game. Alright, so let's see. Who do I want to save? I know I'm just giving him creatures to put in his graveyard, but I don't really care because I want to clear the battlefield. So I definitely want to save my Rimrock Knight, so I'm going to give it protection from black as well. And yes, I still want that Pyro Helix. I know I'm opening myself up for some real punishment here, but I have basically cleared him out. He has 8 creatures in his graveyard. Ooh, he has 9 now. So he could do up to 12 damage to me, but I'm at 15. I didn't realize he got another spawn in the graveyard. So if he plays that, it costs 6. Does he have 6? 3, 4, 5. He does have 6. So I'm going to be forced to sacrifice one of these creatures I just saved. But we'll see. I definitely want to save the Hero Mistborn. That's unfortunate. 5/6 out on the battlefield. And I already know what I'm drawing. At the time it was a great card, but it only does 2 damage. So I could definitely get rid of the Skull Prophet, but he's going to kill my hero. So I could do 2, 3, 4. I could do 4 damage to his 6. It's not great. I am not drawing what I need to draw here. Him getting that spawn in the graveyard was huge. Of course, he still has 8 because he got rid of all of his non-creature cards out of the graveyard. Oh, that's bad news for me. He is playing basically my second game. So I can do a whopping 2 damage. I have to block the spawn. There's no way I can't. So unfortunately I'm dead. There. I'm only at 7. He's gonna destroy me. I will split up some damage. 1 to the creature, 1 to him. Oh, we got another escape in there. That's not going to save me. It will buy me a turn. It will buy me 1 turn. He cannot kill me this turn now. I don't know if there's a card in here that can actually save me at this point though. So I'm going to play it out. Luke is asking, I don't know, Luke, I'm not a big fan of Monopoly. He's asking what is the best Monopoly version. The thing is, there are so many different themed Monopolies now that whatever your hobby is or whatever your interests are, you can basically find a version of Monopoly that supports it. Like, they have Monopolies for college campuses, for every hobby imaginable. Basically whatever you do, there's a version of Monopoly for that. Alright, I need something that's going to wipe out all creatures. This would have been great a turn ago, but alas, it's still not going to save me. This Satyr cannot block. That is it for this deck. Unfortunate, but I'm going to give it a second try. Can't always judge a deck by 1 play. And I said at the very beginning, I didn't love that starting hand. I should have gone with my gut, and I should have mulliganed it. Sometimes you can mulligan into a worse hand, though, so. Alright, let's see what we got. Last game. It looks like for a lot of these workshops, you're always being paired against the opposite deck. So, looks like I'm going to be playing probably another yard work deck. I liked that yard work deck way more than I thought I would. It's actually making me rethink my stance of not really playing those Golgari decks. Maybe I will, maybe I should. Maybe I kind of want to do that now. I don't know. We'll see. Shovel Mitt is my opponent. Alright. It's like Shovel Mitt Gum. Alright, this is a little better like what I would want to see. 2 mana is enough to power a lot of this deck. I'll hopefully will draw a 3rd mana here soon. We'll see. Alright, so let's get my 1/1 flyer out early. I like these adventure cards, this one especially. Early on, you have a 1/1 flyer. Later, you're giving something else flying. Oh, look, it's not. It's a mirror match. It's me and the Legionnaire against each other. Interesting. I thought it would always be opposite. So, let's put out my own 10th District Legionnaire. What is his turn 3 play gonna be? I wonder. This is interesting. I did not know that a mirror match was possible. I thought they automatically placed you. Oh, he got the hero on turn 3. That's going to be rough because I didn't. 1 damaged up to 3 creatures. This is 2 damage dealt among creatures, so I can get rid of that hero. Let's just attack. Let's attack with both these things first, see how that falls out. Oh, he's not blocking. I don't want a plains. I need a mountain more than anything right now. So I opened myself up for some hits, but he's already at 12. And I've got some options here. I've got some good options. Oh, another hero. Man, he has a good draw. Alright, I'm still going to be doing... he has his Conclave. I don't. That's unfortunate. Don't like that at all. Alright, let's do... You know what, this is an instant. Let's wait. He can't block, so I'm not in worry about him. Alright, this is not a great position to be in what I'm in right now. Next turn I'll be able to play this Rapid Flames. Or if I get another mana, 1, 2, 3, 4, I need 1 more to play the Heroes of the Revel. But him getting both of those Heroes of Nyxborn, and I'm not seeing a single one. Oh, and one of them has an Angelic Gift. Alright, well I know what I have to do. I want to try to ruin his day a little bit. If I can. So right now he's got enough to kill me. I don't know what he still has in his hand. Oh, that's unfortunate. Gosh dang it. Oh wait, you know what? I'm going to give him protection from white so he can't be tapped. Oh, there's my mountain. Great, keep that. But it's giving everything +1/+1, which, because he still cast the spell, he still targeted his hero, even though I countered it, and that's a lot of damage. Man, he just got creatures for days. I would have loved to have a hand like that. So I've already got protection from white, so... But I'm still taking 14. Man. Oh, he targeted him with the tap spell too. That guy was smart. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, no, I can... So I could do 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. I will survive. So I could do 1 damage there, 1 damage there. I am at 1 health. This is going to do 1 damage to 3 things. That's not enough. That won't be able to block. That's not enough. No matter what I do here, I think I'm done. I just don't have... See, he can't block. He can't block. This does 1 damage. So that would be great. If I could do anything, I could kill off his human soldier. But these two are just going to kill me next turn. So it's unfortunate, but this is a loss for me. There you see. For anybody who's a naysayer, like that was 2 decks, 2 of the same deck, faced off against each other. You get those Heroes of Nyxborn and I didn't. I mean, if I had drawn 2 of those, I would have played the same game he played if our hands had been reversed. I was going to go back and play Yard Work one more time, but I don't want to go out without winning on this deck. So we're doing this one again, and we're going to win this time. Not with this, we're not. Not a single red mana in my starting hand. Oh boy. Awful. Awful. Wow, these mulligans. This is... You know what? This is when we just quit. That's when you look at your hands and you say, wow, okay. That's terrible. It's bad. You don't want to have only mana that comes into play tapped. Because you don't want to spend your... Like, you're going to be 1 turn behind for the rest of the game. And since there's no reason not to just back out, I'm using that as kind of a little cheat here. Don't blame me. It's just easier to concede than it is to try to play a game with 4 cards in my starting hand. Alright, this is better. I can deal with this. I like this. It's not the best, but I'm not going to risk a mulligan. You saw what happened last time I just mulliganed. It was not great, so... And I end up with 3 Rimrock Knights, though. Does everybody get their Skull Prophet in their starting hand but me? Question is, do I want to just kill it right now? Yeah, I do. I don't want him to get that mana. I really don't want him to be ahead of the mana curve. That's bad for me. I kind of have a starting, like a good engine here of like playing these Rimrock Knights on each other and then playing them again. Okay, he didn't play anything. That worries me. I didn't draw mana, which is upsetting here. And there's 1 in the graveyard. Yep. Well, that's unfortunate. Guess I better play another one. Hope he doesn't have... Another one of those. He probably does. Let's see what he's... I don't know what he's thinking about here. I don't know what he's got up his sleeve. Oh, destroyed creature with no counters on it. Can I give it a counter? No, I can't. And that burned my Rimrock Knight, so he's exiled out of the game. That's unfortunate. That really, really was bad. Alright, well. That plan didn't work. This isn't going to work either. I have no mana, no creatures, no nothing. How did I get in this terrible position? I'm just going to agree with what I said earlier. I don't know. I like the green black deck better. This deck is just... Sure, let's block and die. I don't want to take the hit. Alright, there's some mana. Using a whole turn to exile this thing. Hopefully I get another mana. Oh, this is nice. He has one creature in his graveyard. That's not so bad either. But he has a lot of mana. I don't know what he's doing. I don't like it. I'm going to give this guy angelic wings. I have plenty of mana now. Alright, let's just play one of these out, actually. I've got another one, so if he plays anything, I can tap it. He's going to play one of his big creatures, I'm sure. Oh no, this is small guy. Put another creature, so he's got two creatures in his graveyard now. Alright, what do you got, buddy? Ooh. Blood for Bones, that card I really enjoyed. Putting something directly onto the battlefield from his graveyard. Oh, there's another Mere Triton. I thought he was going to put something terrifying. Alright, let's do this. Let's attack with both things. Oh, that's a sorcery. Oh well. I can do this. Give him another +1/+1 counter. And then I can play this. So I'm kind of protected. I've got options in case he decides to destroy something. Oh, there's his Chainweb Arachneer. Does damage equal to its power to target creature. Costs 5. So he is almost definitely going to bring that out next turn. And do 4 damage. He's going to probably kill my Legionnaire. And unless I can get one more counter on him, then he won't be able to do that. Alright, I feel like I need to kill all these Legionnaires, but it's gonna... all these Mere Tritons, but it's gonna add to what he's got in his graveyard, but... that's okay. Let's just kill all 3 of them. He has nothing to sacrifice now for blood for bones. Which is good. Alright, he's probably going to play that chair web. But if he kills my 10th District Legionnaire, like, I'm not super torn up about it. So let's see what he does. I'm guaranteeing he's going to kill the Legionnaire. There's no reason not to. Yeah. And this thing, I believe, has reach, so... it's going to kill something. No matter what I do, it's going to kill something. So I don't want to risk it. We'll just wait until next turn. So I know I'm opening myself up for... maybe I should have kept the pressure on. But I really want something that can pump up my creatures. Ooh, he's got his giant 6/6 here. Alright, so let's do this. There we go. Attacking with the satyr is pointless. The satyr is just gonna die. Oh, he quit! He knew he was dead. Alright, well, that's fun. Alright, well, I finally won with that deck, so let's see what kind of rewards I got for that. That was a good game. Oh, I got my mastery, it looks like, too, or that's next. So, I got my coins and my XP for playing. And I got my Haversack of Favor for winning already. I have 2 of these. I don't know what we do with them. Alright, but that was Art of Artisan. Like I said, you can come in with your own Artisan deck and play Artisan. But in this particular event, you're going to use these 2. So this is still up on Magic the Gathering Arena. So if you think that these decks look like fun and you want to try your own hand at them and see if you can kind of understand the decks. If you've never played Magic, there's definitely tutorials here. They don't just throw you in. They actually kind of give you really basic decks and some really basic matches against AI to kind of teach you the basics of Magic and how to use Magic the Gathering Arena. But if you've played Magic before, it's pretty simple to cross over. So jump on, guys. Try out this workshop. This is the Art of the Artisan. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back next week with new design. So I'm really excited to show that new design off. And you can catch us, of course, on Wednesday. Thursday night, we do our chit chat. I think Friday afternoon, we're doing our Kickstarter show. And we have some special stuff planned over the next week. So keep an eye on our YouTube page and our Facebook channel, because I think we're doing some Facebook Live stuff this week as well. So, guys, thank you very much for watching and for checking out these cool Artisan decks. I will see you guys next week.